When children came, it was one of the most challenging probably situations for us because we're, I would say, good, successful entrepreneurs in business. And that was a challenge nobody was preparing us for.
What I kind of want to know is, as you first became parents, did you meet with your husband and sort of discuss these are things that are important to us? We want them to go to school, or we want to homeschool, or it's important they get into fitness or stuff like that. Take me through a little bit of how you and your husband address this stuff with your kids.
First of all, we have annual meetings for our private life, for our family life, and for our business. So we lock ourselves in a hotel room and we literally sit the whole day or 2 days and do nothing else on this. Most important, we start with family first. We plan our family same as we plan the business, because the business you can redo, but you cannot relive a childhood.
Yes. Hi, Anna. Welcome to Parenting Without the Manual. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
It's been, well, we've been friends for a while now, and I know you've got two beautiful kids, Leo and Bella, 5 and 8, right?
Yes.
And how we initially met was in the gym. I took my son, and you were there training with your husband and Bella, and where there's an aligned values is obviously how you want to, and I mean, I've had the good fortune to be around you and your kids and you as a family a number of times, so I see how you teach. But to bring them into these principles of fitness, of entrepreneurialism, of confidence, these are, when we talk, and there's a lot that you and your husband do in your own lives around this, and it's very interesting to see how you bring it into your kids. So what I kind of want to know is, as you first became parents, did you meet with your husband and sort of discuss these are things that are important to us? We want them to go to school, or we want to homeschool, or it's important they get into fitness or stuff like that. Take me through a little bit of how you and your husband address this stuff with your kids.
Yeah, funny enough. So me and my husband, we are together almost 15 years already.
Wow.
So we met quite early. We met on the basis where we for sure addressed what are goes and no goes for us for a relationship. But back those days, mid-20s, I was not really thinking about family. But sure, some family values were important. When children came, it was one of the most challenging probably situations for us because we're, I would say, good, successful entrepreneurs in business. And that was a challenge nobody was preparing us for. So a lot was just by trusting our gut feeling, study a lot, because in business we trade for the role. For parenthood, nobody really trains you.
Totally.
And some parts from your parents, you don't really want to repeat, right? You want to do better. So it was more about studying a lot and understanding which values we truly want to live and want to give. And that was a constant alignment between each of us. It's still an alignment, growing process, because every year new challenges coming, kids develop differently, right? So we're moving countries, we're starting new companies, and we have to align our family around this. So whenever a new challenge is coming, we just address it, and we align how we want to continue and which value we want to bring into the family, or if there's an obstacle, how we want to overcome it to do it better.
And do you do that? Do you have a meeting with your husband, or do you just sit down when the kids have gone to bed, or do you how do you structure it?
Yeah, so first of all, we have annual meetings. We have the annual meetings for our private life, for our family life, and for our business. So we lock ourselves in a hotel room and we literally sit the whole day or 2 days and doing nothing else on this.
Did you do this recently? I think I saw.
I saw it. Every January we do it. And most important, we start with family first. So we plan our family same as we plan the business, because at the end, the business you can redo, the business you can improve, or you can start over again, but you cannot relive a childhood.
Yes.
And this we had to learn. And you cannot later, when some very challenging situations happen, and let's even call it trauma for a child, to bring it out of a adult when they grow up is very hard. I work a lot with executives and coach them. And we have so many limiting beliefs we have to work on, which are coming from childhood patterns. So we're very conscious about our actions. And this is why the first point that we do for our annual planning is to structure or to put in the most important events like competitions, birthday parties, very specific events where we have to be present And as we're traveling a lot, we're running several businesses, we plan everything all around it.
So you fixed the whole calendar for the year.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like the family.
You started with competitions. When you say competitions, what do you mean by competitions?
Because both of our kids are in sports.
Yeah.
And I have observed a lot. You can outsource a lot, but you cannot outsource presence, especially when it comes to sports or performance.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do perform or when they do a competition, in early childhood years, they do it for us. They need us as the cheerleader.
Got you.
And I need to be present. I need also, when they lose, they're in sports, in jiu-jitsu and swimming competition. So losing is sometimes hard, but I have to be there and present to rebuild them, to make them ready. When they lost a fight at jiu-jitsu, the next one is coming, right? So they have to be sharp, present, focused. They have to learn how to live with this challenge of lose, but then in 30 minutes later, perform again with full potential. So this is why it's very important, for at least for me, to be present. And whenever my husband can make it, we go always together and we cheer for them. We're there. We celebrate the wins, and also we help to grow from some losses.
You know, and I think your Bella, she won the jiu-jitsu championship or something, right? A few months ago.
Exactly. Actually, both of our kids, Bella and Leonidas, are now jiu-jitsu world champions.
Wow, that's incredible, right? So 5 and 8, yeah? So, you know, as I listen to you talk, I just think and I hear the love in your voice as well, I think that it's so powerful to have a parent like you, number one, guiding them. And I can only just imagine how it's going to shape them, like overcoming these challenges and developing this ability to focus, to switch on, to rebuild themselves so quickly as they become older. You know, as they face challenges, they're going to recover a lot faster.
Exactly.
You know,
that's actually my number one priority, why we emphasize sports so much. I mean, also for sure we emphasize languages and other skills and developments to be a global citizen and being capable to live everywhere in the world, but all about adjusting quickly in new environment is to know how to face challenges, how to overcome them. And I think sports is one of the best skills we can have. But besides also social capabilities, right, to grow together as teammates, to be also a good winner, respectful winner, or to respect if you lose and still cheer for the winner who did better. I mean, there's so many skills involved, and plus for sure the resilience. And being competitive, it's important in life, right? I mean, have an ambition. Yes, we focus a lot on this.
I think discipline as well to manage it all. So you're managing multiple companies. You still find you keep fit yourselves, both you and your husband. You make sure the kids stay fit. You're present with them, and they've got a very active life as well. And then also you travel a lot, and so you're very conscious about bringing them into the world, right? And having them see places and experience things. How do you do you consciously work on keeping them humble? Because obviously, listen, they're living in Dubai. You have a nice big yacht. You have nice sports cars, and you live a very like a high-end lifestyle. As young kids, do you think do they feel like maybe entitled, or maybe could they get spoiled? How do you manage this as well? Or is it a concern, or do you just think, no, if you've got it, you give it to them?
Yeah, I'm absolutely concerned about this, because in Dubai, I mean, some friends we have, I mean, they literally live in palaces. And for them, it's even like having the big house. And it's like, Mommy, why do we have a small house? Or why can't you build a pool, Or, he came with a limousine today to school. Like, why do we have a small car, Like, sometimes they don't understand the sports car versus limousine or something. But it's all about communication. And we explain, because both me and my husband, we come from very basic backgrounds. And we constantly explain that everything we have, we built for, we learned for, we studied for, we put effort, and also we sacrifice. And that we have is much more than many people in the world have. And that actually by having it, we have also to give back. So we also great supporters over I think almost 15 years. We have a foundation in South Africa that we're supporting children in need, mainly focused in the beginning on HIV, providing health and also access basically to medicine. Now it's more grown about really self-help. It's sustainable. And giving the kids an access to the world and giving them hope. It's called Hope Cape Town. And we show them a lot of this project. So unfortunately, until now, I didn't take them yet, but I want when they're in the age, maybe now like 8, 10 plus, because some diseases are still present and we have just to be conscious where we bring them in. So they see always the pictures, the videos. Every year they deselect toys and things they love and give them to the kids. And sometimes this one toy is the only toy this child has. So they receive pictures, they receive videos from them crying, having this toy. This really teach them compassion. Same also, I show them where I come from. I show them pictures. This year we want to travel to Kazakhstan, so I want them to see actually the flat I grew up in.
Oh, you got from Kazakhstan, yeah?
Yes, I'm from Kazakhstan, from Karaganda. And they see my pictures from my childhood and how it was. And I tell them the stories. And I also tell them the stories that success and even wealth is not given. It can be taken anytime. Most important is that you know how you can rebuild it. And that was the number one thing, because when we started dating with my husband, he was an entrepreneur. I was working for corporate. And we even back those days decided that I stay in the corporate world because it was more safe for us as, bank loans and stuff, like when your company doesn't go well. So we needed one stable factor before the kids came. And the number one thing he told me, even when he proposed, he proposed after 2 months. He was like, I will give you the world. It can be taken anytime, but I know how to rebuild it. You know him. So, and I was like, okay, sounds very promising. That was actually another anecdote. So when we bought literally our dream home, I was behind this house for so long, and it was in Dresden back those days. And we didn't know how to afford it. And we counted back and forth with loans, with everything, and made it happen. So we had this dream house where we decided to have as our family foundation.
Where was this?
In Dresden. In Germany. Beautiful house, nature around it, a beautiful river. And we had the key and we had to enter the door. And he looked at my eyes because I was so happy for sure we ended our dream home. And he just looked at my eyes. He's like, honey, I really love you, but don't be too attached to this house. You know, it can be taken any day, but anyhow, we will get another one. Maybe we'll get even a better one. And I was like, that's not romantic. We should celebrate differently. But well, that was this way of like preparing me for life. And
it's very clever though. It's very clever. That's a lot of wisdom from him, to be honest with you. Yeah. Even how even to look at life that way. I mean, not just to prepare you. I mean, his processing of, anything can go, but we can always get something else back, and whatever we get back is going to be better. And, it's just a very, not to be attached to something that goes wrong.
Exactly. And it was healthy for me because I'm coming from a place where my parents lost it all. And especially when we moved to Germany, starting from zero wasn't easy. And back those days, the times were different and they suffered a lot. And so for me, losing it all was a big thing. So all my life, I was preparing myself to being independent, to hold whatever I build up. But then again, you start just to chase, you don't attract, because you get too attached to things. So I really had to learn it. So it was very beneficial for me too. And this I also try to teach my children. Like, enjoy it as you have it, because this is not given, this is earned.
It's a very good way to, but and I look at things like, I think that some important things that I've learned in my life, like when I grew up very poor. And I mean, my situation was slightly different. I saw my parents not getting on. They didn't have money, so they didn't get divorced, and the money was the issue. So I understood I need to have money to have options to be happy. We make our own connections, right? And so my dad always said to me, you can make money by being an accountant or a lawyer. So I was studying, I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to be an accountant or a lawyer. By luck, by God's grace, I fell into entrepreneurialism. I went a completely different route. Although I finished my studies and I could have been, but it just never made sense to me. Once I tasted entrepreneurialism and that you can add value to the marketplace and make money, I said, this is much better. And if I look at my life today, and you talk about resilience and grit, and it's definitely something that's undervalued, undertaught. But this is really what, I remember when my son would fall over, like you don't want to stop him from falling over. He needs to fall over to get hurt, to understand he has to pick himself up. This is the only way the muscle can be built.
Yes.
We want to protect them, but if we protect them, we disable them. We stop their muscles from growing. So, but when I noticed spending time with you on the boat and the stuff we've done, and I've just the last event, I think it was for your birthday,
exactly.
And how Bella took the mic and she's got confidence and like leadership, even at such a young age. She's got this like real massive. Some kids are shy. She's got confidence. She's got leadership. She's got strength. She's got discipline. She's got all of these great attributes that aren't taught in schools.
Yes. But I have to add,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, we worked a lot on this, but we have chosen a fantastic school,
Really, yeah.
which is also working on these skills.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So yes, I love this school, and I was looking long time in Dubai to find the matching school, and I found such a loving one. And they start even in a pre-K, so they're age 3. They start with presentations. Just imagine.
Wow.
So
what's the school
it's
called?
an American School of Dubai.
Oh,
It's,
interesting.
by the way, NGO.
Yeah.
So we have also a lot of impact on the school as parents.
So what does NGO mean?
A non-profit organization.
No, okay, good. Okay.
So that literally the profits are used like to improve the school and the education style. So the kids in the age of 3 or 4 starting to present their favorite toy, their favorite food, like some habits of the family, their sports. In the beginning, they're shy to speak, and they taught to not just give the speech, but also to reflect, and so that all the students can ask. I think this helped a lot. Besides, for sure, like our own effort as well.
Yeah.
And on our side, what we did, because sometimes, as well, maybe relationships are changing when kids are coming into your life. So we try, or something automatically, we adjust our life around the kids. So we try to balance. For sure, we have to adjust because they have their needs, their rhythm, they need to sleep, they need to eat at special timings, they need consistency. But then also, whenever possible, we took them with us.
Right.
I was breastfeeding for quite long. Bella was not accepting the bottle. United also not. So, and what I did, I just put them like in a carrier, baby carrier, and I just took them with me in the night. So they were always around our friends. They felt the energy, the way we're acting, we're feeling. And also, we gave them a lot of freedom to express themselves.
Yeah.
Still, though, they have to know there's some specific social environments where they just can express up to a limit.
Yeah.
Because you have to read the room, and there are specific respectful forms. But still, though, you can be present. You can talk to adults. You just need to know how. And she's very expressive. You saw her, She's in this regards, and I don't want to intervene there too much.
Yes.
So I let her express, and just whenever there's a limit, let's say it this way, I stop her or just ask her very gently, let's move to something else.
Yeah. So rather, makes a lot of sense. And so they're at this school. You've got them in the jiu-jitsu and in swimming as well, both of them, right? They love to swim, right? So they're into the fitness. What key things, if any, like, do you think it's very important for them to experience? Do you think, you mentioned them being around your friends and everything, do you think that has a big impact on how they're going to develop?
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's studies, and both of us, right, are absolutely believers in this, that you are the sum of the 5 around you.
Yeah.
So we truly want them to be surrounded by the environment we are choosing to be. Because when we chose to grow in a specific direction, we also, or should we have our stable friends, which are constantly next to us, but then we also choose to get into this environment. And we give the kids all the skills they need to perform around this environment.
Okay.
So among many, the most important for me is for sure like the values of respect. Read the room, understand who's there, which culture, which background, because even the habits of how you eat, right, with the hands, with the forks, how you look at these people, how you talk to them, how you approach them, and the other skill is the language.
Mm.
We teach them, and it's a lot of effort
Yeah.
to speak as many languages as possible. So they are now at 4, like the 5th they're learning now at school. They're
That's
Arabic.
incredible.
And this is a constant effort.
Mhm.
It really needs discipline,
Yeah.
but it will pay out big
So much.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides of the like cognitive connections they're doing, like the brain development, but also being able to approach someone in his language or her language.
Yeah.
So to find a new friend, to be surrounded by a Latino group because you can speak Spanish, right? Or you come like in a Russian playground and you speak Russian. So I think the languages are really giving us freedom one day, besides of the cultural knowledge.
And what do you think about preparing them for the world that we're going into now, in this world with all these digital tablets, TVs, YouTube, how the world is changing from a job and business perspective, by the way, because the landscape is changing. I mean, essentially humans are being replaced by robotics or cost efficiencies or, AI. And then also how you deal with it even in childhood now that's coming in. Like, when you go out, if they, their attention, they can't be as patient or relaxed. And, do you ever need to give them a tablet to keep them busy? Or like how do you manage all of these things? And what's your thoughts on it?
You caught me.
All of us, by the way. Listen, every parent is guilty of it. So, and we all feel bad about it as well, right? Because
Sure. But honestly, I'm coming from a software background. I was working many years for SAP Entity Data, and AI was already coming. So I know what this will bring to the world, and I'm very conscious about it. This is actually why I have decided a zero device policy. I mean, I have to feel the pain now to hopefully protect them of their pain in the future. So
what do you mean by that? Because when you say protect them of their pain in the future, what does that mean to you? And also, if it's a zero device, do you not think that you're disabling them for the future at some level? Because do they not need to learn some of this stuff now?
Yeah, maybe zero device I have to adjust. So it's very conscious, limited amount.
Yeah.
Because at home, there's basically no TV, no device, if not necessarily needed for the school. Only if it's necessarily needed for the school, they have access to it. In the school, they have a device, but very limited. Leonidas not yet, Bella yes. But then besides, during the week, there's zero device policy because they're in sports, they're active. I really want them to be creative because studies have shown that creativity is key, and it's mostly developed through boredom.
Right.
So, I mean, they're so much engaged in sports.
That's a very big distinction. Creativity is developed through boredom.
Yeah.
I mean, if we understood that, you'd be all right to have your kids bored for a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could unlock a lot of imagination.
Absolutely. And this is what I find quite challenging in Dubai. So like I said, you got me because you go somewhere and then the device is everywhere and then they're just literally attached to the device and you can't do anything with them.
Right.
Versus like at home, they know they have the Lego, so which helps imagination, Lego playing. They have arts and crafts they can do. And again, they have a sibling, so they can just engage on a social basis with each other. They play with their toys, with magnetites. I love magnetites. So to every parent, get magnetites for the kids. They're really incredible. Magnetites.
What is magnetize?
These are like magnets. You can like build something like towers, houses.
Like the plastic, like the plastic ones, yeah?
Exactly. And you attach them next to each other.
Yeah.
Like to Lego, where you can just imagine whatever to build.
Yeah.
And they can spend hours with them. So I just place them on the table and they're busy. But if I would offer TV, it will be always there.
Yeah.
Because at the end, what is giving it to them is like cheap, easy dopamine.
So here's my finding with it. So I agree with everything you've just said. And there is a lot of dopamine. There's also a lot of negative stuff that opens their mind up to the different things that you don't want on like YouTube and things like this. But there is another side to the story. Like when I hear my son talk, he's got a lot of personality and he's got a lot of character and he's very like nearly street smart. Yeah, if you understand what I mean by street smart. But this street smartness is coming from YouTube. He's learning things. So there's things I like about this. So there's more things I don't like about it. But if I'm being honest, he's got like a level of maturity above his age because he's watching things that maybe are not meant for his age, but he's learning language, he's learning entertainment, he's learning jokes. It's like he's learning a communication style that I think nearly makes him like a performer, if you understand what I mean, or it makes him a way that he can grab attention.
Absolutely.
I think, and I think there's an importance in that. Not importance, there's a benefit in that,
I mean, this benefit, I cannot truly explore so much. Sometimes even when other kids are talking about the latest TV show or something on YouTube, so my kids cannot talk, right? So that's why sometimes I have to suffer.
Yes.
Because they are sometimes excluded from a conversation. But then on the other side, I see how they perform in sports.
Yes.
So then, I can cheer them for the world championship.
Yes.
Or for the first race at the swimming competition. And I just explain and I show them why I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in education, it's all about constant communication.
Yeah.
There are sometimes, as I said, like limited TV times. On Saturdays, they can choose for 30 minutes if nothing else is on the agenda. So they can watch something specific. They choose for 30 minutes, but then usually it's in Spanish, Russian, or German.
Yeah. So you make sure either way you justify it in a way to make it positive, yeah?
But they're happy because it's still TV time.
Yeah.
But yeah, with YouTube, I'm very sensitive because on YouTube, usually when they choose YouTube, it's not the content I want them to see. And I agree with you, they could maybe take some behavior, some communication skills where this could be beneficial, but then I cannot filter everything else which is shown
which
there.
Is bad, yeah.
And I just see how they sometimes behave in a way which is not linked to their usual behavior. And this I want to intervene as much as possible. It's sometimes challenging because, again, when they're bored, they yell sometimes at you, because they want TV or they want other things. But if they know it's a rule, during the week, it's no TV. Point. There's nothing to talk about. This is the boundary. They're fine. So they know already, okay, so if Saturdays, no birthdays, nothing is on the agenda, I can watch my 30 minutes, but selective. And for now, they're 5 and 8, we're good.
Yeah.
And I really hope to protect them as long as possible from this.
Yeah.
But then when we go to visit someone, and if this is present, I don't take them away because I don't want to exclude them.
Of course.
I just make sure that the content that is shown is age appropriate.
Yeah.
The rest, I have also to give them this feeling of we are one, right? So I cannot take them out of the group.
Yeah. And so how do you handle like disciplining them as well? Like if they do something wrong, do you ban them from things, or do you believe in smacking them, or do you like I'm just what's your thoughts on how do you, if the behavior is not as correct, or how do you manage that? What's your philosophy on that?
Yeah, well, that's my biggest challenge, honestly, and that's what I said. Nobody prepares you for parenthood. It's a constant try and error. Mm-hmm. I try to be very disciplined and to ban them from things. With Leonidas, my son, it works better. Mm-hmm. With my daughter, it's counterproductive. Mm-hmm. So with my daughter, she's a very strong mind. I have to explain her things. Things have to be logical. It takes a while. She explodes, she yells, she screams, whatever. But then I have to calm her down. So it's more an energetical approach. I have to explain her why it hurt, why it was wrong, what the consequence is. Like reflect how we felt, because not at every age even their brain is capable to reflect, right? So we had to help them a lot. Where I'm now more in this phase, I say we talk about everything, but then also if something is really bad, yes, then it can happen. For example, we are at a birthday party and something was really, really bad, but it has to be really like going against our values and boundaries, then we'll leave the birthday party.
But you
go home.
And is there a difference of how the kids receive you or Danilo as a authority?
Yeah, I think they receive me more as like the strict mom.
Oh, right, okay. You're the strict mom, okay.
I'm the strict mom. I'm the like always limiting, and I cannot have.
And he's a soft dad.
He's more the soft because, but I understand I give him this position because
Yes.
he's traveling much more. He's not
Yes.
always present. It's
Yes.
like good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
So he pampers them more. He
Yes,
buys
yeah.
them more gifts.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
like when I buy them, it's really chosen and not too often because when you buy, they always receive things, right?
Of course, yeah.
So he's more the one who can go like to a nice playground with them, or I don't know, like in the mall
He's the
and
fun.
get them a toy.
You know, dads, regardless, generally, dads are the fun dads. You know, I mean, I have it because, again, I'm divorced, right? So I've had my son less time. And so we have good quality time. And so when I have him on the weekends, we do nice things and we travel. And, you know, it's kind of like my thing as well. But whenever my son misbehaves, my ex-wife will call me and, you know, you need to tell him off. He listens to you. But you know, I don't believe in smacking kids. I think growing up, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't do it today, right? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think maybe that strict discipline helped us. And I'm actually a bigger fan of stricter discipline. It's a fine balance because I have a very spiritual perception that kids are more of a true essence of spirituality.
Yes.
And so we should leave them be and even let them be our teachers than the other way around. Yeah. And at the same time, there's some things that are really not right, in my opinion, that then there should be some boundaries and some strictness. And I think sometimes, you know, I mean, I explained a lot to my son, but when I was younger, I used to get hit and no one gave me an explanation. You understand, you don't do that, you get in trouble. You learn very quickly this way, right? You know, so, and this is how we understood it. And I wonder if, you know, it's a good or a bad thing now. But yeah, I'm able, like, for whatever reason, I talk to my son, if like he misbehaves, I just talk to him more sternly. And he understands. I change the tone, and he understands. You know, but I never find the need really to hear him. But as they're getting older, now he's pushing on to 9. I'm seeing, and especially since he started jiu-jitsu, I'm seeing more of like a teenager style come out in him. He's becoming much more mature in a different way. You know, which is interesting to see.
And jiu-jitsu is also nice because they taught a lot of discipline. Yeah. So if you put them in sports, kids are taught a lot of discipline. And I think at home, so for us, we have our core values. Mm-hmm. They know the core values.
Oh, you have like a family core values, yes. like a company. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's easy values. I don't know, like company, but yeah, I would say so. This is like most of all love, it's respect, it's compassion, it's honesty, and it's integrity. So it's
so if I ask Bella, what's your core value, she'd repeat this. Yeah.
I assume, yes, she could. According to these values, I explain all the actions and why this action was wrong. And also when we're in a social environment, she also knows that the setup with the people, so her behavior could have a big impact, not just on her, but also on us as a family. And what I also teach them, just being here, right? We are in the United Arab Emirates. There's special rules. And no one is above the law. Yeah. It's even the rule of the country. So they need to understand no one above here in this room is above the law.
So it's interesting, right? Why I said like a company, because I do a lot of high-level entrepreneur coaching. And while I teach a lot of entrepreneurs that are struggling to get to the next level, the number one thing that there's a few things that make your company successful. One of them is core values. It's being able to have an extension of you within the whole company. Mm-hmm. So if you've got key values, this is what separates your company from everybody else. And so how do you align? And this is exactly what you're just explaining about core values. This is like the values that run through the core. I've never really thought of it, and I don't know why I didn't until you said it, but it's really like opened my eyes, because this is how you get a lot of people aligned to be in the same direction. And it makes sense actually to bring that kind of psychology into a family and say, hey, this is who we are. I mean, one of the things that my mentor taught me when we were growing up was about the family name. And so, you know, when I talked to my son, I said, what does our name mean? Is like, we're a winning family. So I wanted to embed the identity of a winner.
I love it.
Like you come from a heritage of winners.
Yes.
And you're a winner, you know. And just so when he understands who he is, this comes out. Yeah. I teach him about, you know, deciding, like we'll play a game. I'll say, who's going to win? And he'll say, me. You know, and I say, have you decided? Yeah. Right. You know, it's like just to understand, you know, these are the little things we do. But so let me ask you now, and just as we come to a close, if there's a parent watching this now, they might be a single parent, they might not be an entrepreneur, possibly not living in Dubai, Yeah, all of these things are like, and or they could have, equally be the same. What would you advise if they're about to become a parent or they've got a young child and they're kind of navigating through? What would be like your one key advice that you think can really help with developing your kids and bringing in these things?
Yeah. So number one for me was trust your gut.
Okay.
Because there's so many advices out there and so many people think they know it better. But the most important, especially for every mom and dad, the souls came to us. They need to be taught by us, not by others. So try to calm down. I love whenever I'm challenged in a situation, there's the very easy box breathing technique. It's 4 breath in. So basically, when you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, you hold on 4, you breathe out on 4, you hold on 4. Regulate your nervous system and then try to feel what the real situation is about. Because often the behavior of the child is a reflection of the energy we're bringing into the room.
Yeah.
So trust your gut health and first observe yourself. And then whenever you need help based on your gut feeling, what you think, where it's navigating to, educate yourself.
Yeah.
There's so much education out there. Choose what suits you and your feelings, not what is maybe taught.
Being pushed
into you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me because all the educational skills from our parents or grandparents, they're outdated.
Yeah.
And when I know it better, why should I use them?
Yeah.
Even my daughter used to say it once to my dad when he said, like, you totally behaving bad. And, in my childhood, I would just receive a clap and I would be still. And she looked in his eyes with 6 or 7 or how old, and she was like, you know what? But my mom knows it better.
Yeah.
They're so smart, these angels. They are my biggest teachers. So basically educate yourself. And the other thing is also choose the right environment for your kids. Choose it consciously. Because I think this is truly our responsibility to choose the environment for our kids. This is so effective.
Yeah.
And it's one of the key drivers later in which direction they will go.
I think it's so powerful. Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your wisdom. And I'm just very honored to call you my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.